There's a new update, some brand new features, and a really awesome upgrade that you should definitely get for your ship. It kind of changes the way you pilot it, but we're also going to talk about a few other concerns that you guys have mentioned in some of the previous videos, so let's begin. Now, starting things off, one of the major concerns right now for anybody who wants to unlock all of the new freighter base parts is how you acquire these frigate salvage modules. As you may or may not know, you will require quite a number of these to unlock all of the new rooms, base parts, and the new modules. About one per piece, but they can definitely add up since there's like 20 or so of these added in the new update. So let's begin with the first one, that you can run AFK and then do something else while it is running in the background, and that is to send a few frigates into expeditions, specifically into industrial expeditions, as according to the wiki, these have the highest chances to reward at least one frigate salvage module. Of course, some of the rest can do that as well. In this case, as you can see, even a balanced one was able to reward that, so it's definitely something that I would start with. Now, normally these take at least like 8 hours to complete, so that's why I suggested running them in the background. And at the same time, I also suggest crafting one of these upgrade modules for your expedition, which is a fuel oxidizer. Each one of them kind of slashes off about 2 hours of the timer, so you can put 3 of them in total to slash off about 6 hours of the entire timer and just make it run a little bit faster. A second one you can run is doing missions, specifically the ones in black market systems. For some reason, these have some of the best chances to spawn one of these missions that can reward at least one salvaged frigate module. It's usually really quick, you just have to deliver some goods, come back, and you're gonna get that sweet reward at the end. Or if you want a little bit more consistency but with a very low drop rate and not having it guarantee at all, it is doing some of these derelict freighters in outer space. If you don't want to pay the 5 to 10 million units, instead you can just get the broadcast receiver from Helios on the Space Anomaly, as he gives you one for free pretty much every week, and I'm going to show you a quick method that you can use to have infinite uses out of it. So once you've done that, go ahead, activate it, and start pulsing into space until you encounter your first derelict freighter, and you can go ahead inside. Now, before you activate the console that opens the freighter, you will want to place the emergency unit into your portable refiner, assuming that you already crafted one. This is basically going to fully prevent it from being utilized and deleted from your inventory, and you still have the capability of just activating the console and opening the airlock. And from this point on, what I suggest doing is to just go ahead and farm these blue containers. Doesn't matter the size, as long as it's blue, go ahead, open it. There's a very small chance for a frigate salvage module to drop from it, but at least there is a way to farm it in the downtime of your other methods already being done in the background. But with that out of the way, let's talk about a really interesting new upgrade for your ship that kind of went under the radar, which is this one right here, the Flight Assist Override. You can go ahead and pretty much just unlock this at the Space Anomaly, and it gives you a couple of really interesting bonuses. One of them is the fact that it completely removes the flight assist. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And then it's also going to give you a bit of maneuverability bonus right there to make ship piloting a little bit easier. But we're going to focus on the first effect, which is the reduction in flight assist. Now, flight assist is basically that moment when you fly, when you can see the game kind of controlling your ship for you. This is most noticeable when you go into asteroid fields and you can see your ship kind of doing these evasive maneuvers, so it doesn't always hit asteroids. Well, if you activate and install this blueprint, you're going to, well, reduce that. But that's not the only effect. The second effect is the drift mode. So with this installed, your ship now has a lot more weight to it, so to speak. So every time you do a sharp turn, it's no longer going to feel that arcadey as it did before, but instead will have a bit of a drift to it, which yeah, kind of makes it appear as if your ship has some weight over there. Kind of feels a little bit nicer. I'm definitely a fan of it, and you can obviously pull off drifts if you want to, but that's the immediate effect. It kind of lets you take these really nice turns. Otherwise, if you were to not have it installed, as you can see in this footage right here, my ship doesn't really have the same kind of like drift slash weight distribution in the quick turns, and instead it kind of feels like I'm just going with my cursor over the screen, making flight really uninteresting. Go ahead, try it out, and definitely let me know down below how you feel about it. But let's keep on going, and this time around we're going to talk about some of the secret color changes that you can apply to your freighter room decorations. In this case, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Beeblebum for discovering this, and I'm going to also link his videos down below. But basically, you don't just get access to the regular colors you see for the regular rooms that you have in the new freighter base building. You also get access to completely secret ones, but you have to use a different item to transfer those colors to it. So in this case, any item can work, but the best one would probably be the small crate, since this one has a pretty wide selection of color combinations that normal rooms don't have. And in this case, I want to show you a quick one, for example, with the purple and yellow, which is not an option that normally appears for these rooms, yet I'm going to be able to transfer these colors to the rooms in just a little bit. So basically, once you apply this color to the crate, you can go ahead and whatever room you build next will inherit those colors just like the crate, and you can see the results right here. We have these colors that normally you can't apply to them without this. So this works with pretty much any other color combination, including for orange and blue if you want to. Looks pretty awesome. Here's the difference, by the way, between the same white and red color combination. On to the left side, we have the default one from the room, and on the right side, the more vibrant one is the one being transferred from the crate. So the difference is quite big over there, and the same goes for pretty much any other room module. In the case of the planter ones, you don't really have an option for a full green room, but you can totally transfer it from the crate, and the difference is quite big over here with much better colors in my opinion. With that out of the way though, on a final note, there's also a bunch of really interesting patch changes coming up in 3.95. One of them is some of these clipping fixes for some of the base crew members on the freighter. In this case, that would be the specialist. Yeah, no longer clips through its module. And speaking of the crewmates, have you ever noticed that every single one of your inhabitants is actually a pilot of your existing fleet? So for example, if you talk to some of them, you can see the details of the frigate that they pilot. And in case you have a squadron of NPCs, you can also see your squad mates physically being over there on your ship. You can also verify this exact information in your squad screen, and you can see that it's the exact same captain over here that we just witnessed just roaming around our ship. I find that to be a really awesome attention to detail, so more of these please from Hello Games. On the subject of quality of life changes, our currently equipped ship will have a display icon when you are on your freighter, and now it's always going to display so that you know exactly which one of them you had equipped previously. Even if you get super close to it, it's always going to be present. And obviously, if you change your primary ship to a different one, that marker is obviously going to move. A second one is the fact that now when you claim rewards from expeditions or directly from your frigates, instead of going only into your normal inventory, your frigate or your freighter inventory can now also grab them. So you don't have to constantly play games and just like move items around. This time around, they will go directly into your freighter cargo, which is another great quality of life change. Obviously, since the freighter cargo is much more massive than anything else you might have on your character. This is it. Obviously, you can check the patch notes in the comments down below, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.